Hello all and welcome to our channel Holistic Facts. In Prelims Prime videos today, we are going to learn about Global Environment Facility. So whatever is important from Prelims as well as Mains point of view, the basic things, that's what we are going to cover. So it is a multilateral financial mechanism that provides grants to developing countries for projects that benefit global environment and promote sustainable livelihoods in local communities. So what is the focus here? Developing countries and environment. Okay, sustainable livelihoods we are going to promote through improvement in our environment. The Global Environment Facility is a trust fund and it was established on the eve of 1992 Rio Earth Summit. It is a very important summit because many other environmental mechanisms also involved through this summit, and we are going to tackle our planet's most pressing environmental problems through this. And the funding to support the projects is contributed by the donor countries, which are around 39, and the contributions are pooled, and this particular pool or these contributions are replenished every 4 years, and through these these contributions are allocated to different projects in different countries or different civil society organizations. All right, and this is also called as replenishment cycle in GEF, that every 4 years it happens, and it is based in Washington, D.C., United States. The GEF is jointly managed by the United Nations Development Programme, World Bank, and United Nations Environment Programme. There are 183 countries under the GEF in partnership with civil society organizations, international institutions, private sector, etc., with the purpose of addressing environmental issues across the globe. So it's not necessarily that this works directly with the government, right? It works with the international institutions and also private sector. This is important. UPSC usually can ask questions like this. Does it fund private sector? So yes, it does. It provides funds to the developing countries and transitioning economies, as we already discussed this. So focus subjects are climate change, biodiversity, ozone, etc. And if we are to divide these particular focal areas, then there are 6 main designated areas. That is biodiversity, climate change, international waters, ozone depletion, land degradation, and persistent organic pollution. Then other than this, this GEF, which is basically a financial mechanism, it also serves as a financial mechanism for different conventions, that are Convention on Biological Diversity, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, United Nations Convention to combat desertification, Stockholm Convention on Persistent Organic Pollutants, Minamata Convention on Mercury, and also, although the Global Environment Facility is not linked to the Montreal Protocol, it is not, okay, so that is important, it is not linked to the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete ozone layer formally. It supports its implementation in countries with the economies in transition. So there is no formal mechanism here, but if asked, does that help in the Montreal Protocol financial mechanism? So it does. And all the 5 others, it is formally linked to these: CBD, UNFCCC, etc. So now we come to the part that what about India and GEF? So India has formed a permanent constituency in Executive Council of the GEF. So we already have a small grouping within the GEF, that is with Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, and Maldives, all the regional economies. And India is very important part of GEF. We are both donor as well as recipient of the GEF fundings, okay, and in almost around 70 projects we are involved. Then Ministry of Finance here is the political focal point, while Ministry of Environment and Forest and Climate Change is the operational focal point of the GEF project. So this distinction is also important: political focal point and the environmental focal point, or rather we can say operational focal point, the basic. So GEF Small Grants Program, what that is now. So this is a very important part of this thing, and in India there are many projects that are through the Small Grants Program. So we are going to see about it in small details. It was launched in 1992 with 33 participating countries. It provides financial and technical support to communities and civil society organizations to meet overall objective of global environment benefits secured through community-based initiatives and action. Nowadays, actually, we know this particular trend that it is very important that you involve the civil societies and you take up the community-based initiatives, because these are the last mile connecting projects, right? So community-based initiatives, they directly deal with the ground reality and they deal with the people. They know the local situation, they know what needs to be done, they only need to be facilitated, and this is exactly what small grants program does. So the program is specifically designed to mobilize bottom up actions. So rather than dealing with the government and then letting the government or big organizational institutions devolve the funds to the local communities or civil society organizations, we can directly deal with these frontliners, right? And so that's what is called as bottom up approach. We start at the bottom of the hierarchy and not the above, by empowering local civil society organizations and poor and vulnerable communities, including women and indigenous people. Then it is currently implemented by UNDP on behalf of GEF partnership, the small grants program implemented by UNDP, remember, although it is of GEF. Then small grant program has been operational for over 25 years and is being implemented throughout India. So as we discussed earlier, in India, small grants program has a very important role. It has been working extensively in the areas of biodiversity conservation, climate change and land degradation. So these are three focal points here. So 1,10,000 hectares of land brought under the sustainable land and resource management in Western Ghats, Himalayan front and arid and semi-arid regions through sustainable measures such as organic farming and community managed enterprises. So all these kind of facts are going to be important for you in mains. They improve the quality of your answer if question regarding this is asked. 85,000 million tons of CO2 emissions also reduced through a range of alternative energy and energy efficient technologies such as efficient cook stoves, solar dryers and briquetting units, plastic wasters, recycling units, micro hydro and biomass. All these things, like you recycle things or you make energy from waste and then you get ash and then you use that ash again for making bricks. So you keep the economy cyclical here. So all these things at ground layer, SGP plays an important role in this. Promotion of sustainable income generation activities among the small farm holders. When you take up such activities at community level, you are involving people, and meaning you are involving people is that you are generating employment here, right? So that is the additional point here. So this is about the Global Environment Facility. Actually, there is a lot to know, but right now this much is enough for our preparation. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please like, share and subscribe to our channel Holistic Facts. Thank you.